And don't forget, VOP is the best.
All right, hello, how are you? It's about shagging the man fine back with Melanie Poppy Black Skin Boy. This is VOP TV. If you're not watching VOP, I don't know what you're watching. Maybe you're watching your weight. Bye.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Wale Ojo, and you're watching VOP, Voice of the People.
All right, welcome to the program. It is People's Voice on VOB TV, where season stories shape the narrative. And of course, today we'll be dissecting a major conversation that is dominating the area, the country, and of course, it's making rounds on social media, and it's really affecting us, And of course, don't forget the program is People's Voice. So this is actually about the people, and this particular one is really, really affecting us, and it would even affect us more. Dangote Refinery'S price cut sparks brutal price war in Nigeria. Join the conversation with experts inside the season perspective. Share your thoughts with us. I am Savior Udo. Let's look into other news stories with details. Nigerian Senate probes rumors of Senate President's collapse. The Nigerian Senate has actually directed the National Security Advisor, NSA Nuhu Ribadu, to investigate rumors circulating on social media about the alleged collapse or death of Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Senator Titus Zam raised the matter under Order 42, expressing concerns over the reports that have actually been spreading in the last 48 hours. Zam described the rumors as alarming and unacceptable, emphasizing that the Senate President, as the nation's number 3 citizen, should not be subjected to such misinformation in response. Akpabio acknowledged the difficulty of controlling social media narrative, but asked the Senate if they wanted the issue referred to the NSA for investigation. The proposal was adopted through a voice note and of course a voice vote as well, and the NSA is now tasked with probing the source and intent behind the rumors. I'm just very surprised about this particular one. When it's about the Senate President or any of the senators, it's very, very fast, for our Nigerian, legislators to do something about it. Of course, the National Assembly is always very, very energetic, to respond to all of this situation. But when it's about the common Nigerian, it becomes a very difficult process. And that's when they get to put some unfounded law, as regards to why it is taking that long for them to cater for, the common Nigerian, And some of them would even make some unguarded statement, not caring about the life, of the people we're talking about in question. But of course, this is about the number 3 citizen, and that's why we're talking about this. I'm not against, misinformation on social media as well, but notwithstanding, I would not also want, there to be any social media regulations, because we know the implications from our Nigerian, our legislators. But away from that particular one, forget Biafra, Igbo no longer marginalized, says Umai. The Minister of Works and former Ebonyi State Governor, David Umai, has said that the call for a separate Biafran state is no longer necessary due to the integration of the Igbo people into Nigeria's national development agenda under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Umai cited substantial federal investment in roads and infrastructure across the southeast, evidence of the region's integration into country's development agenda. He listed ongoing projects including the Enugu Port Harcourt Expressway, Owerri Onitsha Expressway, and Section 2B of the second Niger Bridge, valued at 176 billion. Umai emphasized that political relevance for the southeast should be pursued through strategic movement rather than rhetoric praising President Tinubu's efforts. The minister concluded that the current administration has brought significant developments to the region, making agitation for Biafra is unnecessary. And away from that particular one, most politicians supporting Tinubu can't go home to canvass votes. Aberbe says this particular Senator Einaya Aberbe has claimed that many politicians publicly backing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot openly canvass votes for him in their own communities. Aberbe made assertion during an interview on channels, on a particular, of course, immediately dismissing the APC's show of strength as disconnected from the popular sentiment. Aberbe said most politicians supporting Tinubu can't go to local markets and, of course, communities to convert votes for him, citing potential backlash from the people. The senator expressed confidence that Tinubu would lose the 2027 general election, insisting that he didn't win, the 2023 elections genuinely. I actually saw this particular media parley from the senator. He made several assertions, as regards to all of this particular conversation, and talking about the president not going to win, the 2027. He said it, and he was really sure about that. And he even mentioned, he said he would be the last person to actually defect to the APC, even if everyone, would actually defect to the APC. I believe you know what that particular one means. For him to, I don't see him to be, a regular kind of senator or a legislator that actually, grants media parley at all times. But for him to actually, welcomed media parleys for him to talk about all of that particular one. This is to let you know that everyone is actually giving predictions and projections as regards to, the 2027 election. But everyone is actually making it look as if 2026 is quite invisible, or nothing is actually, going to be done, or nothing is existing in 2026, and everyone is just talking about 2027. Let's even talk about next year, at least for now. Nigeria's democracy at risk as governors defect to ruling party. The Resource Center for Human Rights and Civic Education has warned that Nigerian democracy, is facing a grave threat as governors from opposition parties defect to the ruling All Progressive Congress, risking, a de facto one-party system and eroding electoral mandates. Of course, and away from that particular, let's come to Lagos State quarters now. Last man raises alarm over speed-related crashes on Lagos roads. The Lagos State Traffic Management Authority has expressed concern over the increasing number of speed-induced crash on major roads in Lagos. The agency's general manager, Olalikon Bakari Oki, has attributed the incident to speeding and mechanical brake failure. A recent crash at the Lekki tollgate inward Sandfield corridor involved the Mazda commercial bus, leaving 5 passengers with grievous injuries. Last mile operatives rescued 2 critically injured passengers and, of course, transported them to a nearby hospital. Bakari Oki warned motorists against speeding and using vehicles with mechanical defects, emphasizing the importance of responsible driving and regular vehicle maintenance. He urged road users to cooperate with traffic authorities to ensure safer roads. And of course, last but not least, ADC denies plans for Senate, states, local government congresses. Okay, the African Democratic Congress (ADC) has clarified that it is not planning to hold any Congress, contrary to publications suggesting otherwise. The party's national chairman, Senator David Mark, denied authorizing or having a prior knowledge of the document, calling it illegal, invalid, and of no effect. In a statement signed by Honorable Kingsley Temitope Oga, Kogi State's chairman of the party, and of course our chairman of the ADC Chairman's Forum, and Honorable Kennedy Odion, Edo State ADC chairman, as Secretary of Forum, the party reaffirmed its loyalty to the Senator Dave Mark-led National Working Committee and pledged commitment to the party's success in upcoming election, including 2027 general elections. My question for ADC, is there any issues going on, of course? And I think it's not LD for ADC if we'll be hearing something like this, Dave Mark-led National Committee. And I wouldn't want to say Dave Mark faction. So I don't know if there is any issue presently. Of course, we heard Dino Milai also mentioning the other day that there is no other faction. ADC is one, and there is peace in ADC. But there have been speculations, there have been rumors, but of course, we're not sure till now. But let's see what will happen in the coming days. And of course, their spokesperson will also, say something as regards to that particular one. To join the conversation, kindly call the number 09044732605, 09044732605. Follow us on social media at VOPTV Live. You can use the hashtag People's Voice on VOPTV. And of course, on YouTube, we are Voice of the People. Kindly hit the subscribe button, and together we can make our voices heard. It is time for us to go on a quick break. As soon as we return, we'll be dissecting this conversation. Dangote Refinery'S price caught spark brutal price war in Nigeria. Don't go nowhere, stay tuned, please. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the program. It is still People's Voice on Voice of the People Television. The Dangote Petroleum Refinery's decision to slash the gantry price of petroleum motor spirit has triggered a brutal price war in Nigeria's downstream petroleum sector. The refinery reduced its gantry price from 828 per liter to 699, causing massive losses for fuel importers, depot owners, and retail marketers. Fuel importers are projected to lose 102.48 billion naira monthly, while the Dangote refinery may lose 91.02 billion naira. Private depots in Lagos have slashed prices by 14%, with some selling PMS at 710 naira per liter. Marketers are counting heavy losses, with some warning of energy security threats and, of course, instability in downstream sector. The House of Assembly Committee on Petroleum Resources has summoned Dangote and the NDPRA leadership to address the crisis. The price war has exposed deep fault lines in Nigeria's deregulated petroleum markets, with winners and losers emerging simultaneously. The situation remains volatile, with uncertainty surrounding the future of the industry. We're now being joined by Dr. Kayode, a socio-political technocrat, and of course, aviation safety expert. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Very well. Good afternoon. I see you smiling. You already know where I was going, There is nothing like David Mark led NWC.
Doctor, this is not from me.
There is just one NWC in ADC, okay, and there is no division in ADC. That is number one. Number two, talking about Congress or no Congress, convention or no convention. You see, I will want you not to forget that in this country, we have a lot of professional fifth columnists, to the extent that we were all together in this country when some of them came out with an authentic invitation card to late Buhari's wedding while he was the president. Can you remember? Late Buhari's wedding. So when you see things like this coming up, especially to imagine, I'm using the word imagine, okay, and I stand by it. Yeah. Imagine opposition party, which the sitting government is highly afraid of. You should expect anything. Even this morning, I was discussing with some of our leaders in my local government that I was reading another thing. Yes, what is happening? And immediately, the person I was discussing with sent a message to, I think, yes, National Organizing secretary.
Secretary, yeah.
Yes, and when we were still discussing, say yes, he's replying him on 3 various issues that we were asking him. And immediately we got necessary information. And that is how open the members of National Working Committee of ADC are. We were discussing on an issue in Lagos, and we sent message to Abuja, and when we were still discussing, we were getting responses. That's to tell you that in ADC, there is what we call communication flow, communication concepts, whereby they can ask you questions, we can ask questions, and you will get answers immediately. Anyway, having said that, let us also advise our senators. If they don't have anything doing, let them cuckoo say they will not be coming all of the time. Rather, they are sitting there will be on part-time basis. Why are you calling NSA to be investigating whether the Senate president fell down or not? What concerns us with that? You are put in the Senate there. You have his contact. Call him. Mr. Senate President, is it true that you collapsed? He will answer you. And then you tell your people, is it true that you are hospitalized in London? He will say either yes or no. So why are you wasting our money on frivolous things? You are using our money to buy cars, to build houses, to do all kind of shenanigans in the petroleum industry. I mean, look at what is happening now. And then you are still spraying it on our faces. One day, all of us, all Nigerians, we march to that National Assembly and tell them what we are expecting of them. Abaribe is there. Abaribe just said it now, that there is no way they can go and be campaigning for Tinubu, that people will throw them stones. Never in me, even me, never. If it's mainly only me, I will never, whatever it's going to take me, they come to APC of
Doctor, I know what we're discussing today is about the country, and of course, it might not actually be really tied to politics, but of course, I would like to just ask you this before we move to the main conversation today. I love the fact that you just reiterated what Senator Abaribe said, and of course, you're also saying that you can never, join the APC. I understand that sometimes we can actually make some assertions, just like you told me, last month, that I shouldn't really take the word of a politician that seriously. And of course, situation changes. That sometimes, Doctor, I want you to allow me land. Doctor, I want you to allow me land. Doctor, I want you to allow me land. Doctor, I would like you to allow me, buttress my point. So, you said, of course, that day we're actually, having this conversation with regards to Atiku and, some of the conversation and things, he said before now and what changed. And I said, Doctor, are you also telling me that if you say something today that it can change tomorrow? You said, of course, it's life and things change and all of that. Today, if you are telling me that you can never ever join the APC, just maybe, and what if the APC, approach you, knowing fully well what you have done in the PDP over the years, your track record is there, facts and figures is there. They know how strong you have been in the PDP, and they know what it took before you could join the ADC. And if the APC are coming to you now and saying that, okay, fine, we know you've been this, we know you've been that, and all of that, and we want to be part of this whole movement, and we want you to be part of us because this is what we want to give to you. And of course, you cannot say you are just running politics because you just want to run politics. Everybody in Nigeria is running politics. First is about democracy. Second, about themselves. The democracy covers the fact that, they want to run it for people, they want to make people to be comfortable and all of that. But of course, in one way or the other, we also want to serve. You want to serve your people if you have the opportunity. Now, that's what I'm saying. So if they say, in any area you would love to serve, that they would actually hand it over to you on the platter of gold, are you going to tell me, Doctor, that you wouldn't reach out to me, or when I reach out to you, you wouldn't say, oh, Savior, something changed. But of course, I'll grant a media parley with you and I would explain what actually changed. Let me actually tell me that you will never do it.
Let me answer you. Let me answer you.
Please go ahead.
Number one, I was not talking about that people changes.
Okay.
No. I was telling you about situational change, which I corroborated with a theory known as banded rationality. That is an information that is open to you today is what you are going to use in making some decisions. But tomorrow, there might be new information, new trend that will now, you now look at it, and everybody will know quite well that yes, there is a change of information. For instance, when Dangote, when fuel was selling at 1,000 naira per liter, so many people were not driving their cars. But when the petroleum product, when the PMS was reduced, price was reduced to say 600 naira, so many people now are now driving. That is new information, new condition.
Doctor,
If tomorrow comes, APC of today, just like I was in PDP of yesterday, I cannot be in PDP of today.
Doctor, we are saying the same thing. Doctor, you and I are saying the same thing.
APC of today, listen,
Doctor.
wait now, listen. APC of today, whereby you have people like Tinubu, you have people like Ganduje, you have people like Apapio, you have people like Oshiomole,
Okay.
and all that, Femi Gbajabiamila, them. I can never work with them.
Doctor.
If tomorrow comes, you have APC being led by people like Oshimbaju. APC being led by people with unquestionable character. People that can hold their heads up high there and talk, and people will listen to them. Yes, it is different from APC of today.
Okay. All right, doctor. All right, doctor. Sincerely, you and I were we actually say the same thing, but of course, doctor, you know what? Doctor, you know why I'm smiling? I'm smiling because we are only recycling the same politicians in different political parties. The PDP of today that you said you can't work with is because of the crisis that is going on. The same men that you can't work with today are the same men you worked with in the past. That's one. And now some of them, doctor, I'm coming, doctor, please. Some of them moved, to the ADC and you moved along.
I never worked with Tinubu.
Doctor, I'm talking about the PDP now. The people that are causing whatsoever situation, the fractional PDP and, the situation now in PDP, before now, you worked with the same people. When it was
because
peaceful.
then
Doctor, that's what I'm saying. Doctor, don't worry.
But now they have left their
Doctor, we are saying the same thing. Today,
no, they are different things.
Doctor, you can't work with them today because you feel, everyone is actually, falling out as regards to, having the same vision.
They are falling out of integrity. They are falling out of integrity.
Doctor.
Sorry,
doctor,
let me give you an example.
Doctor, this is not the conversation for today. Doctor, this is not the conversation for today.
Just 1 second. Please, 1 second. 1 second. I sent one story to you about a journalist. I won't mention his name. You remember?
Yeah.
A journalist, highly respected journalist that I also respect so well. When I see him on the road, I will prostrate flat for him. But look at what he just did.
But doctor.
As he got telling me that the film, the
video, yes, that it was AI.
Harassing the governor of Osun State.
Funny enough, just like we saw, he deleted it. He deleted it all.
Just because he was giving a national honor.
He deleted it all.
You are not siding. You are not lying with your mouth.
Yeah.
I think. Will you now want me to work with such a person again?
No.
Someone that I've been working with before now.
Now, doctor,
I can't work with such a person again.
Doctor, we're saying the same thing. The same way a good person can actually change to become bad. That's the same way a bad can repent to become good. That's why I'm telling you, doctor, this is not the topic. Doctor, hold on, no, doctor, please hold on.
People can learn. Look at Powell. Look at Collins Powell of America. Collins Powell, highly respected.
Doctor, please just hold on. Doctor,
he was deceived. He was deceived into going into war with Iraq, and he came back. He found out he was deceived. What happened? He apologized until his death. He was apologizing and regretting it. So if people can regret their actions and come back to their sanity and say, I am sorry, who are we not to forgive them?
Doctor, you are not allowing me to talk, but you actually told me. So I'll wait for you to finish.
Utpanafodo said, the conscience is an open wound. Only the truth can heal it. And that is where I stand.
Doctor, can I talk now?
Please.
And you would not stop me?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, so doctor, for proper clarity, you and I are actually saying the same thing. Just like I said, the day we actually had this conversation, if you remember, I mentioned at least nothing less than 5 to 6 elder statements from the PDP that are not clean. But of course, they moved from the PDP to the ADC. And that was why I said, are they now saints? Are they repented or they are saints? That was the conversation before we got to this particular point. It built up to this point. Now, we're talking about you saying, oh, you cannot join this particular party, you cannot join this particular party. And I made this assertion as regards to APC, giving you, a particular offer that you cannot refuse. Now, you talked about people, that was good before, now becoming bad. You made mention of a broadcast journalist that, of course, you sent that article to me, which he deleted, after lying that whatsoever that happened with the First Lady, was orchestrated by AI. And of course, we all saw it and we're all disappointed. But notwithstanding, doctor, since you've actually recognized the fact that people can truly and actually repent or apologize,
like calling poets,
and say that, okay, we want to toe the path of peace, or we want to do what is right now, just like the so-called leadership of the ADC, the likes of Amechi, that has the same questionable character. The likes of Atiku Abubakar, the likes of Dave Mark, the like of Aregbesola, the same Aregbesola that has worked with this same president today, all of a sudden has said he wants to actually toe the right way. Of course, almost all of this thing that we're talking about, everybody was saying, allegedly, because they don't have some evidences to actually prove. Even when you have evidence in Nigeria, it doesn't go anywhere, because some of these men own some of these particular courtrooms. But that's not the case. So the same APC can decide, the same people that you so detest today can decide to say, we want to change in 2031. And we want to actually toe the path of peace and do what is right. So are you telling me you will not work with them? You will. By then you will tell me, oh, Savior, they've actually turned a new leaf and they now want to build this nation. They've actually said they've made mistakes. Of course, they've apologized, they've done consultation, and everything is fine. And we will move on. And sincerely, nobody will be able to question, you moving from one place to the other. But that's not the conversation we're talking about. We've actually taken a lot of time as regards to dissecting, integrity here, and questionable character, which I love the fact that I'm always having head-to-head with you on the show. But let's talk about the one that really concerns us today, which is about the Dangote situation. I was totally against the monopoly, of petroleum sales in Nigeria, because it looks like we keep empowering one man. We keep making one man rich. In as much as I love the same man as regards to in doing things for the nation, employing, people in the nation, and trying to see how to put, the flag of this country, out there. But we also know that it has affected so many people as regards to its refinery. So, doctor, I would like to ask you, how will this particular Dangote situation, when it comes to this refinery issue, how will this Dangote refinery's price cut affect overall market dynamics in Nigeria's petroleum sector? And what do you think that every other downstream, yes, would go through? What are the implications of the price war on fuel importers, owners, and of course every other person in question? I'd like you to dissect this because some people would actually say Nigerian governments are not really, caring about them, or they don't really care as far as Dangote is fine. They don't want to know if they are doing fine or not. But some people were saying that, why are you still going out to import your fuel and all of that when you can, refine it here in Nigeria? And some people are still finding it difficult to work with Dangote. So what are the implications of, the price war on fuel importers, depot owners, and retail marketers? I'd like you to dissect all of this conversation, please.
Yes, thank you very much. And my submission is also going to be similar to what we have said before now. I have all along the line not been a supporter of Dangote. No. Along the line, I don't even buy his products. If there is no alternative to his product, I better leave that product. Why? Because of what happened during COVID. I always call it COVID 419 because we all knew it was COVID 419 during that period. But along the line, he looked at it. Let me see how I can bring succor to my nation in the area of petroleum products, which is one of the elements that controls the economy. And he went out headlong to come up with Dangote Refinery. Along the line, I never want to believe that Dangote Refinery will come into limelight. But towards the end of Buhari administration, the place was launched. They all went there and all that, even though it couldn't start work. But at the advent of Tinubu administration, the very first day of his administration, he increased pump price from 185 to 500 naira that very day. Now come Dangote Refinery that is sourcing his crude oil from Nigeria. What stops Dangote Refinery from even selling fuel less than that 190 naira? Because before now, we have been talking about exchange rates. So which exchange rate is affecting Dangote Refinery now? Nothing. But I want to believe he was twisted to also bring his price to that par with the one that imported fuel were being sold then. And that's what kept that price up there. He's not looking at it. Excuse me. As a humanist, he can't continue this way. Along the line, his prices were coming down. It was first drop again. We all saw what happened between Dangote Refinery and the so-called Pegasus. And the so-called Pegasus. The whole thing came out. The Yoruba will say, that is, the wind blew. And then we are now able to see the hidden parts of the chicken that is being covered by its feathers before now. The can of worms, the lid of the can of worms was opened. And we all saw it. For goodness sake, if somebody is saying he has capacity to supply the whole West Africa fuel, bearing in mind also, he has been supplying America with fuel. Why are you now trying to frustrate him by issuing 40 import licenses? Why? You were saying your refineries were not working. Port Harcourt refinery, Warri, Kaduna, and all that, they were not working. That's why you were importing fuel. So, this one that is now working, why are you now putting impediments to his successes? Why? Is it because you are asking of some money from him that he's saying he cannot afford to give you more? Yes, I can say that because he himself had mentioned it.
Okay.
How is it John or what's his name? The head of downstream or whatever they call it. He's paying $5 million for his children in Switzerland. Where is he getting the money? In fact, another Farouk, another Mr. Integrity and Otedola is still going to play out here. You remember Mr. Integrity and Otedola? You see play out here. So some people somewhere have been sitting down milking Dangote, and to that extent, where will Dangote pass that money to? Is to the consumers. I told you sometimes, if our government had been serious, we are not supposed to be buying fuel. Maximum, highest, 150 naira per liter, highest. I did the research on my own. Now listen, even when you were importing fuel, NNPC had a policy known as direct supply, direct purchase. With that direct supply, direct purchase, you only bring in 3 products, maximum 3 products. The remaining 8-9 products being gotten from that crude oil since all this year, where have you been keeping them? Where is the money? People have not been asking questions. I've written articles of not asking. I have said this in severally.
All right, Doctor.
Many of the TV programs, people were not asking. Here is another point, another opportunity to be asking those questions.
All right, Doctor. I love the fact that you took your time to dissect all of this conversation. But you would agree with me that some people were actually saying that the reason why, Dangote was given this opportunity is because we need to have, our own refinery that is working, and of course, Nigerian refineries are not working, but this is the private sector who's actually taking this up and is doing so well for, the nation. But that's not the point. The point here now is that Dangote refining our, crude here was meant to give us even a lesser price, and we know all of this particular situation. And now gradually it's looking like our prayers are being answered by the price coming down. But of course, some powers that be, don't forget that the same man, said it at one of the symposium. He said that he never knew that the cabals in the oil sector was this, serious and more, heavy compared to every other sector that is been.
And that's what
and today, doctor, and today, the same man is dropping price because he's actually seeing, this particular thing as, okay, this is what we refined, this is what we were able to get, and this has to go down, But our own people, our own marketers, are fighting this situation. Please, I think I'm getting a feedback. Please, I'd like my team to work on that, please. All right. So, as I was saying, Now, doctor, you'll agree with me that this whole situation of price up today, price down today, of course, everybody's working towards, doing what is right. But will the price cut lead to, a permanent shift in the market structure, or is it a temporary phenomenon? And I want to take this simultaneously. How will the price war affect the government revenue from the petroleum sector? Because we have been praying for, a drop in price. So, doctor, I'd like this to be our, final conversation, because we just have just 1 more minute to round off the show.
Tell you, it is not only the petroleum sector. Telecommunication is involved. Electricity is involved. So many of these taxes we are paying, they are all involved. Not until when some people, some very few, that goes around to collect their own, they call it their own, Owomida. Yes. Not until when we stop them, we know their names, we know them, and they know themselves. Even you know them.
But doctor, you are saying I know them. I can only tell you who I know.
We can't mention their names because they are untouchable. They will say, so they are put up. That is why your data, the amount you pay for data is increasing every day. The electricity is increasing, petroleum is increasing. Government wants to force the price that they will not allow him. The more he wants to force the world, they will say Owomida. And if he doesn't pay Owomida, they will not allow him to operate. They will put impediments. Okay, tell me, how can you justify it that somebody in that industry, somebody at the end of affairs, will go and be trained 40 import licenses on what ground? When you have a refinery that can supply all your needs year in, year out, not in Nigeria, but even in the whole West Africa sub-region. Apparently, he has been supplying America. So tell me, they will not let it come down. Why? Is because they always want to claim Owomida. And when they are claiming Owomida, that money, they want to use it to be oppressing the people. Because they don't want people to survive. And that's why I said, a time is coming when Nigerians,
all right, doctor.
Spontaneously, mobilize themselves against this people.
All right, doctor. Thank you so much for your wonderful submission. And of course, we press for time. It's always, not enough. The time is not always enough when we actually do head-to-head like this. But thank you so much for being part of the show. This is how far we can actually go on the program. Thank you so much, Dr. Kayode. In as much as we could have had time to talk about this petroleum situation, but doctor was going head-to-head with me as regards to him moving from this party to the other and saying Senator Beribe and him will never move to APC. Doctor, after the show, I'll talk to you on the phone. You and I have so much to discuss. Thank you so much, doctor. It's always a pleasure. And you too, please. All right, don't forget that the views and opinion expressed by our analysts is solely their own and do not reflect that of VOP Media. If you love the world of sports, coming up next is Locker Room. I want you to stay put to enjoy, another dimension of sport analysis and of course, sport situation here. Our Super Eagles are actually warming up for Nations Cup, and of course, not only that, they will be having friendlies. And I think you would want my other colleagues to actually do justice to that particular information. So you don't go nowhere. Stay tuned and enjoy that particular one. Don't give up because it is not over. Tough time doesn't last, but tough good will last. Whatsoever you face will soon be over, and you will definitely smile again. My name remains Savior Udo. Have a good evening. Rest.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise
get tribe. Hunger no get religion.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
My name is Tao Familoni, and here is to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
My name is Made Kuti, and you're watching BOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices.